Welcome to Diary of an Ex-Ho. I'm Cheri Hardman, I'm your ex-ho, and today's guest is Christian Gray. So sit back, enjoy the episode, and remember the old saying, always a bridesmaid when you're a hoe.
Christian Gray. I'm from Port Orchard, Washington. I currently live in Portland. Um, straight, straight male. I'm seeing.
Sing.
I'm talking to somebody, but we're not like. Yeah, we're just hanging out. So
Okay. All right. All right. Well, next thing we're going to do, before we do that, though, before we do Marry, Shag, Kill, this episode is going to come out not this Wednesday, but September 3rd. Do you
Okay.
have anything you want to promote around that time?
Uh, yeah. Anyone watching that's in Portland, the Outnumbered show is coming back. Covert Cafe, Southeast Portland, 9 o'clock, Tuesday, September 9th.
Okay, cool. That's a nice little place.
Yeah, no, they're really good at the comics. It's
Yeah, they really are.
you get away with murder in Portland. There's so many places that are good to us.
All right. Well, great. Well, I'm gonna just I don't have anything in early September, but I will do Haha Tuesdays at Tacoma Comedy Club with Bo Blast on the 16th, and brand new bar, brewery in Tacoma, Evergreen State Brewing Company, excuse me, on the 19th. That's their first comedy show. So I'm going to promote the hell out of that. I want people to show up. So, all right, we're going to now play Marry, Shag, Kill. I'm going to go get it. Oh, I got weird stuff open on my computer. I didn't go to the right window before. Okay. I don't know why it's asking me twice. There we go. You can see that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I always try to orient it to the person, but I don't know you that well. So, of course, I had to go with the obvious 50 Shades of Grey. So, I'm going to show you three people. You have to pick one, marry one, shag one, kill one. We're doing 50 Shades of Grey edition. We have Dakota Johnson, who was in 50 Shades of Grey, Kristen Stewart, who hates 50 Shades of Grey, and Victoria Beckham, who loves 50 Shades of Grey. So, who are you going to marry? Who are you going to shag? Who are you going to kill?
Oh man, should we go with let's get the kill out of the way. We'll go with sorry, Kristen Stewart. There's a lot of drama and baggage that come with that. So we'll narrow it down to man, I definitely think I only know like a little bit. I know one's a Spice Girl married to a soccer star. I guess we would shag Victoria Beckham only because I don't know if it would be hard to marry somebody with we're different cultures altogether. So we'll marry Dakota Johnson, shag
Okay.
Victoria Beckham, and sorry, Kristen Stewart, you got to go.
All right. Bye-bye, Kristen. Okay. All right. We're going to talk a little bit now about, oh, well, first of all, have you ever hooked up with anyone because of comedy?
Yes. Uh, a couple of audience members, and a fellow comic.
Okay. All right. All right. When you were growing up, were your parents together?
I was a foster kid. I was on my own at a very young age for many, many of years. I have adopted folks who I love dearly, who probably I'm a congressman if it wasn't for them. So I did have like some good influence of what like a good healthy relationship goes, but I was not exposed to that until my late teenage years.
Mm. How do you think that's affected you in your relationships?
Oh man. Well, I'm 38 now, but in my 20s, I was probably very immature. I just, keeping up the honeymoon phase was always like for every relationship was probably like the most exciting time. Keep that going. Very, um, yeah, no, it was, I was a very wild boy with like no emotional control for better or worse for the longest time. And, I definitely think, when I left town, I went to California, and saw a different whole perspective of lifestyle and what I'd want for myself, my partner. Grew up, you know, trial by fire, if you will, with the but definitely, I was a wild boy young because of it. All I was thinking about was just good times to mask bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. I mean, considering how you grew up,
Yeah, I mean,
a continuation of the same lifestyle, but just in a different way. I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, I definitely would say like a lot of, I use sex to mask a lot of issues the same way people would alcohol or drugs. And
mhm,
uh,
mhm,
it made a lot of relationships earlier in my, 20s difficult because basically like I just couldn't get past the physical stuff where it's all I was really focused on. And then just, experiencing life firsthand for myself was very selfish. So like all around, I was just all about me. And, I think, um, it worked out the way it was supposed to because I think like I'm pretty dialed in now and I'm pretty like confident in everything I do and all my relationships are healthy. My sex is healthy. Very I understand how to keep it going versus just getting
right,
it started.
right, right. I mean, there's something to be said for growing up. It's a little more boring, but sometimes that roller coaster is just a lot. Um, all right, so I'm going to talk about your sexual awakening, and sometimes I don't know. I don't. Well, we'll see. Okay, so when did you first like discover sex or first realize, wait, there's something going on in this world I didn't know anything about previous to this?
I'd say ninth grade. First first girlfriend, first love. Definitely it was a sheltered environment, but I grew up while I was still at home with, and getting in trouble, restricted. That's when I learned how to jump out a window of the house. Like I would do a lot of dumb shit for girls, and like the and it was very exciting. Like that's I think at the end of the day, like you get a little excited that you can get a lot of things rolling. So it's just definitely just it was part of causing trouble, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's fun.
Did you have any celebrity crushes?
Oh, I'm sure. Like I definitely think for like 10 years if someone said, "What did you want for your birthday?" I joked Scarlett Johansson. Like, it was but I uh yeah, no, I think like growing up in the 90s, I think everyone was like I think there was like a lot of like it was weird because like even looking back, it seems like another lifetime where like I think men obsessed over to some of these ladies in the 90s where like today you would be frowned upon or like you can't, openly talk about stuff. But I definitely remember like, you know, in an era where everyone was about Pam Anderson and like Carmen Electra, I remember like Jennifer Love Hewitt was my first probably like celebrity crush.
So do you have a type?
Hmm. I definitely um I don't think I do. I have more things that I have get turned off by that eliminates things, but I try to be open, like as far as like, you just don't know when you're not looking for something, especially like it finds you and sometimes you don't know what excites you until you come across it. So it's really not healthy, I think, to just pigeonhole yourself like, you
Right.
know, I only this is the only figure I look for, or this is the only like, I really get excited when people don't need anything from me. They just want to be around me. I think uh that's always exciting. I feel like people don't date anymore. They just move in, they play house. Like and I'm not for that. I definitely think it's exciting when like you don't live with someone. You're getting dressed up. You smell good. The chase is always on. Like I can't tell you how much you will miss the chase as soon as you move in with a partner, especially too soon. Like it just that's a wrap on like the a lot of spontaneous just I don't know the honeymoon phase is the right word for like just a regular relationship, but like whatever is equivalent to that, it definitely um you got to work hard to keep it going. So you definitely have to, once you move in with someone, like you got to be responsible for your not just sex life, just your intimacy and your connection with your partner.
Right, for sure. So you brought it up. What are some of your turn offs?
Hmm. Uh, I definitely um food's a big deal in my world. Grew up with a lot of Asian Pacific Islanders. Most of my family's handpicked, so like food's a big deal. So like people who can't handle like eating off like paper plates and big settings, or they're picky eaters. Uh, the importance of realizing like uh, how powerful sharing a meal like can help conversations and get to know people, and also you're introducing your partner to your world, like, or vice versa. Like that's a really strong way to like uh mix merger your worlds together. I
It's
definitely
a good way to find out like the core of somebody, like what they're like when you're trying to assimilate them into your lifestyle, you know.
I definitely think that like it's it's goes without saying, like whoever you're with, like you're not just, if you're dating or you're married to somebody, you're not just dating or married to that person. You're to that world essentially. Like you gotta just be. So if they can't handle it, it's a good sign. It's got to go. Um, I really assume laziness, effort. If you don't have much effort, I assume that will follow into the bedroom. So like that will be a turn off. Like I really like. I know what I bring to the table as far as like. I think it's good to uh don't smother somebody. Definitely don't smother somebody. But like, people know like you care, you got their back. You'll take care of it with certain things as situations pop up. You're reliable. You can be trusted. Like it goes a long way. And like,
Mm.
I definitely think that like your effort should, your effort should always match what your partner is. Not that you keep receipts, but like you definitely will notice when someone's not trying.
Right, right. Okay, kind of talked about celebrities a little bit. Do you think of any like mainstream movies that had like a love scene or a sex scene that you always kind of remembered and went back to in your head?
Um, Man, when I was a kid, I saw Eyes Wide Shut, and
Oh, yeah, that'll twist your brain a little bit.
not a good movie, but holy fuck, there was a lot of like a very especially like, it puts me into my like 12, 13. So I probably watched it 14, 15 years old and was just like, you know, realizing like how taboo things can really be. I definitely think it was wild in the 90s. Things were not as big of a deal as they are now. So like we were like tone deaf to things, or like it was easy to sexualize somebody because
Mm.
it wasn't a big deal. Like, and so uh there was a lot of it going on back then. It wasn't just one movie. I even comedies like American Pie. Like I was a those movies were written for
Right.
my generation. Like holy cow! Like it just uh I definitely it definitely was a lot of fun watching those movies with dates, like or girlfriends back then, because it would definitely lead to fun stuff. Like they
Right.
enjoy it just as much as I did. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a wild time because just like I said, everything was viewed differently. Now I feel old talking about it. It just
Oh,
but
well, imagine how I feel growing up in the 70s. It was a way wilder back then, even, it was uh, very different. And it was very much, well, I do a lot of jokes about it, but it's just like the things that we said and the way that we treated people and stuff was just like, you look back on it now, it was like I tell the joke that it was like the guys. We just thought that the guy was supposed to. We were supposed to say no, and then the guy was supposed to talk us into it. So we didn't even really know if we wanted to do it or not. We were just like, a lot of times we were saying no, but we really did mean yes, and so there was so much muddying of is this okay or not.
you're
Um,
absolutely right.
Yeah, so still a lot of boomers are like, but wait, that's not how we learned it back then. It doesn't make sense to me. Um, do you watch porn?
Um, yes, just I had my relationship with it is different as I got older. Like COVID was awful. Like COVID, all I did was sit in a dark room, watch movies like all day long, maybe play some video games
Mm,
and watch porn. Like it was almost like one, you can't replicate what masturbating does through sex, so it was harder to like finish the job. And two, like it almost became like torturous. Like if you're doing it, it was just a reminder like you're just not
yeah,
like
Penny.
with somebody. So it was um definitely as I've gotten older and because of like certain like that whole 3 year period, it wasn't I'm not against it, but I definitely think that like it should be more used as a tool or like something casual versus relying on it. Or I
Right.
would I definitely am alarmed how many people just rely on it these days.
For sure. How important is sex to you on a scale like of 1 to 10?
10.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I definitely think that like um when you have a healthy sexual relationship, uh you don't notice as much, but when you don't, you definitely do, and it's on your mind. And I gotta say, like, there's a lot of aspects in my life where, like, I love to have sex just to like not be just for the sole purpose that I don't want to be thinking about it while I'm at work,
Mm,
while I'm with my friends. Like, there's just, uh, yeah, no, I definitely think there's something to be said about that.
what's your definition of amazing sex?
Hmm. You know, I'd say like every now and then you're just like, whoa, like where did that come from? Or what is that? Or like, something that's just like not the norm, but you're thoroughly enjoying it. I definitely, I think, um, yeah, that you gotta kind of you gotta own that as far as you're with your partner, because yeah, if you don't, don't work towards having those moments, why should your partner as well? Like I definitely think that uh, that's a hard way to interpret it, but I definitely imagine I'd say amazing sex is basically when you're really enjoying it and you weren't either expecting it or there's something different than what you normally do that is just blowing your mind.
Right. All right, let's go to the wheel of dirty questions. You only have to answer one. So let's get rid of these guys. Hit escape, so go away. Have you had sex with more than one person in a day?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, yes, I have. I
Okay.
outside of like uh the obvious, like, I guess, threesomes, I would say like late high school parties and stuff, I was shameless. We definitely uh yeah, go from one to another and play it like they was the first lit person of the evening.
Yep. How's your body image?
You know, it so I weigh 269 pounds. I don't love it. I've lost weight, like massive weight, like 3 times. Car accidents are a son of a bitch. Uh, and I can tell you that when I get under 200 pounds, it's happened a couple times where like I get all this attention, and I've literally come across women that turned me down in high school, and I'm like, oh, you just don't remember me because I look different, and uh, totally not into it. Like, I definitely think that I'm in a good place in general. Like I think because of comedy, and I address my weight all the time through comedy, that like you can't out fat joke myself. I literally will have all the jokes. But um I've also come across women that are chubby chasers, and that's weird to me too. Like I've never been like, thought to be someone's kink. So just what I look like. So that's a bit weird too. So hmm, it's hit and miss. I have a hate love relationship. I would obviously like it to be better, but like it doesn't stop me from living my life. And I definitely think that uh, being so close to 300 pounds is not a good place for me. I'm dropping a ton of weight right now, and I'm hopefully this will be the last time. And just it's just staying healthy and being able to just not get re-injured. I just don't think that like, and also the older you get, it is really fucking hard. Like, so whatever I'm doing right now, like this has to last because I can't tell you how hard I'm working to do it, and I would hate for something bad to happen where I'm just like, I you can't give it up. That's the worst part. You got to keep fighting to like, especially now that I'm having fun with life. I want it to last a while. So I'm definitely, I'd say, I have a healthy understanding where I'm at, but I don't think it's a bad thing that I don't love my image. I just think that, uh, you know, just being self-aware is all it is.
What's the best compliment you've ever gotten on your naked body?
Mm. I I'd say I don't know. It's weird. I get a lot of compliments on like my traps. Like I don't know, my upper body like does all right when I'm frequently working out. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I laugh it off when I get the compliment, but that traps are usually the frequent one.
Okay. Do you have any sexual regrets?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I um slept with a teacher I definitely shouldn't have. Uh, definitely. Um, yeah. I I've picked not like good venues to sleep with people in, like just like little things, but like nothing I can't come back from, nothing that haunts me. But yeah,
Okay. Okay. Do you have anything left on your sexual bucket list?
done a lot. Except I think that it's good. Like if you keep adding things to it as you go. I haven't necessarily lately. I'm not like I travel as much as I can, and like it's definitely like a lot of things can just happen in the moment where like you're just making it part of your trip. Uh, yeah, not really. I mean, I do all right, but I also like I'm open to adding to it as like I think it's really good to live in the moment.
Yeah. Okay. What's your host song? Like when you hear it, it kind of wakes up your host spirit.
Man, if I got a woman coming over, I'll put on some like I'm a '90s kid. Like I'll put on some like LL Cool J. Like I'll like literally just get to the mindset like I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm about to, like it's gonna be, yeah. No different than like when I have music before I go on stage or music that I before I pitched a baseball game. Like I
Hmm.
hype myself up. Absolutely.
Right. All right. What's your Instagram?
The gray area. No, it's gray area comedy.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we've come to the time now where I'm just going to sit and listen, and you're going to tell me a story that has something to do with sex.
Hmm. I man, let's see. We got like humbling one. This is embarrassing. I remember like in the shower thinking like I'm giving this lady like the time of her life just based on her grunting and stuff, and her hair was caught in the fucking shower curtain.
Oh,
So I'm pulling like and I'm like, oh, you like that? So I keep like it took me about 2 minutes before I realized. Uh man. All right. Uh give you something good here. I um met a woman in a bar. And I was there after a Mariners game. I was in Seattle, and she was rooting for her beloved San Jose Sharks hockey team. I was just watching the NBA Finals, and I just heard this woman just getting excited, and I'm just talking shit, just flirting with her. Next thing you know, we're betting shots, and the one game that I bet hockey shots on hockey goals, there was like 7 of them. So like we get pretty drunk pretty quickly, and uh my we yeah, no, met some other people, involved them. We had a few of us had a good night in the hotel. Definitely, um, definitely, never been more. Uh,
well, what do you mean? A few of us had a good night in the
well,
hotel.
we met with some other friends, and then
Right.
mixed it up, and I end up like I forget. It was like the stupidest thing. Like, you forget you can't find your phone. So you're like, hey, call my phone. And like this person, she called me like after, she came back. So like she works for Amazon. She was a high ranking official in Amazon. And like I was staying in like the nicest hotels when she'd come in town. She kept calling me back. And like I remember like suddenly just blowing off dates like hey you're gonna have to make this ferry. I'd make up excuse like my friends in town, and I'd go. It was just so exciting. Like I'd just drop everything and then moved to California, and then just got exposed to like the life down there. A bunch like she made really good money, and I was exposed to people who made really good money, and like what they had access to. What I was exposed to was like no other. And for like 2 years, my life was just one big blur of like, holy shit. And I guess that's where I understand the word keeping the, you got to own your excitement. You got to keep it going. Um, but yeah, I don't really have any crazy stories, but that was the craziest one. Like that one night led to me moving and being with someone, and she was like 12 years older than I was, or 11. So I was 29 and she was 40. So there was also the element of like being exposed to like, that's where I also like, you think you think you know how to fuck until like you get with someone who's a hell of a lot older and like shows you yeah, it's just that time frame was just exciting.
There is something to be said for that older woman, younger man combo, for sure.
But it was good until it wasn't. I
Right.
definitely think that like what's common sense to a 29-year-old and a 40-year-old are two different things. And um, mixing substances all the time, not on my end, on hers. I was not into feeling like I was trying to be babysitting one of the Golden Girls. So just,
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by my necklace again. It's like I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I've been like, oh, it's driving me crazy. Okay, so all right, that's it. It's been great talking to you again. I only
absolutely.
got to talk to you briefly that one time, so nice to get to know you a little better. And I'll let you know when this episode is out so you can watch it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Definitely I'm back on the West Coast from my East Coast trip for the summer. And when yeah, I'll have something for you soon. I want to do an outnumbered with there's a few of you ladies I've never worked with yet. So I look forward to doing outnumbered. I'm gonna try to do it up there.
Great. Well, and
And
also I am down to work in Portland anytime because I got free hotel at the A Casino, so I'm always happy to like take a trip to Portland just so I can go have fun at the casino also. So keep that
absolutely.
in mind. All right.
Well,
All right.
thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
You have a good afternoon.
Too.